Hey, what's up, family? In today's video, I will show you how to fill the open spaces in your container garden with companion plants. That said, let's begin. Hey, what's up, family, and welcome to my humble abode. My Afro-Bohemian Homestead is a channel dedicated to teaching urban dwellers how they can use their space to become more self-sufficient, sustainable, while living a simple life. So if you're looking on how you can add food preservation, urban gardening, DIY projects, and more to your space, then you have come to the right place. So while sitting outside getting ready to water the container plants, because as you can see some are starting to droop, I decided this would be a great time to share with you guys my process of companion planting. So in our last couple of videos, we really focused in on container gardening. Well, we're going to keep the trend going because this week we're going to focus on companion planting. And if you are just joining us in this video series and have not seen the other two videos where we talked about a step-by-step on setting up your container gardening on your front porch and also why you should not overfill your pots, I'm going to go ahead and add a link in the description and also above here, so you can check that out if you have not already. That said, let's go ahead and get started before the sun comes out and it gets really hot. So before we dive in, here are some of the materials you will need to get started. Although we will be using marigolds for this video, here are some other items that you can plant with the vegetables that we are using today. Companion planting can come with so many benefits, such as improved growth. Certain plants like basil can enhance the growth and flavor of neighboring plants, such as tomatoes and peppers. They release natural chemicals that can stimulate growth and improve the taste of your veggies. Next is the efficient use of space. By filling an open space with companion plants, you can make the most of your container garden. Some plants act as a ground cover, helping to suppress weeds and retain soil moisture. Then you have enhanced pollination. Flowers such as marigolds attract pollinators, like bees and butterflies, which are essential for the pollination of many vegetables. This can lead to higher yields and healthier plants. And finally, soil health. Some plants, like beans, fix nitrogen in the soil, which benefits neighboring plants by providing an essential nutrient. This helps maintain soil fertility and supports the overall health of your garden. Now that we got all the positive stuff out the way, let's address the elephant in the room: pests. Although container plants are not directly in ground, they're still subject to pests. And while some insects are very beneficial and contribute to health growth, there are still some that will do damage or destroy your harvest. To combat this, the Naples Botanical Garden recommends that you plant beneficial insect species to encourage native predators of those insects. In this case, it could be ladybugs, wasps, lacewings, and hoverflies. This is one of the reasons we're planting companion plants today. So first, we must assess our current container setup. During this step, you got to check the health of your existing plants and make sure that there are no signs of disease or pest infestation. And while you're doing so, you can also identify open spaces where you can add companion plants without overcrowding. Next, we have to prune the lower leaves. By doing so, this helps prevent disease spread. So you want to make sure that you use clean, sharp scissors or pruning shears to remove excess leaves from the bottom. Removing these leaves help improve air circulation, and it gives your plants or your new companion plants more room to move around and grow. Now let's prepare the soil. If there's space in the container, adding fresh potting mix or compost to replenish the nutrients is very beneficial for the plant. Make sure to mix in a balanced organic fertilizer to give the soil a nutrient boost. Now, I didn't use that going in with the soil this go around, but I did add fertilizer towards the end when watering. And if you noticed, I mixed up everything very well before putting it in the pot to make sure everything was nice and blended. Next, we will transplant the new companion plants. To start, carefully remove the companion plants from their nursery pots, taking care not to damage the roots. If you have multiple plants in one pot, carefully break each plant apart, making sure that you leave a few roots and some soil. Remember that although you have removed some roots, as long as you have some left, the plant will be okay. After separating the plants, I then determine how many plants per pot. Now that they are ready, it's time to put the plants into the pots. When you put the plant in the pot, make sure that the hole is deep enough for it. This ensures that the plant is stable and the root ball is covered with soil. Once the plant is placed, fill around it with soil and gently press down firmly to make sure that you remove any air pockets and you make sure that the plant is secure in place. Add additional soil as needed. Now that your plants are placed, make sure to water the container thoroughly to help the new plants settle in and reduce transplant shock. As much as possible, water at the base of the plants to avoid wetting the leaves and reduce the risk of fungal disease. Now that we're done with this project, let's take a few moments to go over some container gardening tips. As you are deciding on your companion plants, make sure that you group plants with similar sunlight needs together. And on occasion, as you check on them, rotate your containers regularly to ensure even sunlight distribution. As mentioned before, when dealing with container plants, use a high-quality potting mix that drains well and is rich in nutrients. If needed, add compost or worm castings to enhance fertility. Considering that some areas can get pretty hot, make sure that you water your plants consistently, keeping the soil evenly moist. Use a drip irrigation system or self-watering containers for consistent moisture levels. Also, make sure that your container has proper drainage to prevent waterlogging. To ensure that each one of your plants have enough space for the roots to grow, make sure to arrange taller plants like tomatoes and peppers towards the center or back of the container and shorter plants like basil, marigolds, and spinach around the edges. Use vertical supports for vining when you're dealing with plants like cucumbers to save space. Also, avoid planting too many plants in one container. This prevents overcrowding and competition for nutrients. Follow spacing recommendations for each plant to make sure that you have planted the plants properly and they can flourish. And there you have it. With these tips and tricks, you can successfully add companion plants to your containers and maximize your container garden space. Well, there you have it. Thanks for tuning in to My Afro-Bohemian Homestead. I hope that this video helped you in some shape or form and it inspired you to consider urban homesteading in your space. That said, if you have not already, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can join the family. Plus, it helps us out. And When you get a chance, go ahead and check out our other videos over there just to see what we're about. You know, we talk about DIY projects, urban gardening, and also food preservation and whatever else is relevant to homesteading. So it'd be nice for you to join us and check us out and maybe teach us a thing or two. That said, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, enjoy simple living and stay supertastic. Peace.